Roxy, Kyler, and Eli. Merry Christmas! We hope that you had a fabulous Christmas this past Friday. Today is Sunday, and we just heard Miss Karina, who's the youth and care team minister, preach a special sermon about the three Magi. So we are going to continue with our Advent lesson. So a lot of these stories you have heard, but now we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the gifts of the three Magi. You can see we are in front of our fireplace. All of our stockings are hung. We have our Advent calendar up top. And we're wearing our tacky Christmas sweaters. Yay! Woo-hoo! So, without further ado, let's begin our very long journey, which is why we're spread out on this table. Our color is purple, as a reminder of the royalty and specialness of this season that we call Advent, as we are all along a journey to Bethlehem. And while we're along this journey, we can look at some of the same people who originally did this journey many years ago. On the first Sunday, we remembered the prophets. And the prophets are people who point towards Bethlehem, and they say, we don't really know what's going to happen in Bethlehem, but pay attention. Stop and pay attention. This season, we're reminded as well to pay attention to those around us. Something special is happening. On the second Sunday of Advent, we remember the Holy Family that were also along this long journey to Bethlehem. It's special here because we have almost like our story shelves right above us. Mm-hmm. On the second Sunday of Advent, we remember the Holy Family, Mary, who was pregnant with baby Jesus, and Joseph, and of course, what kind of animal?
Donkey.
A donkey. And sometimes it's very hard to walk the whole way to Bethlehem, so Mary would ride on the donkey. But it's also very hard to ride on a donkey when you're very pregnant, so Mary would walk. Yep. On the third Sunday of Advent, we remembered the shepherds. The shepherds were keeping watch in the field with their sheep, making sure that their sheep were safe.
And no wolves to come.
That no wolves would come. They were protecting their sheep. Then all of a sudden, a great light shone for the shepherds, and they heard singing, and the angels said, "Shepherds, do not be afraid," because it's kind of scary when all of a sudden a giant light and angels come to you in the middle of the night as you're in the wilderness. They said, "Don't be afraid. We bring you great tidings of great joy, news that will make everyone happy. Go to Bethlehem. There is a baby who will be king." Then this past Friday was Christmas, and you'll notice that the color changes on our felt underlay right here. The color changes from purple to white, just like the background. And what shape is on this card?
A star.
A star. That's right. And we have another color candle too. We'll tell the Magi next so that we end with that. But we have 3 purple and 1 pink, and then our center Christ candle is lit because baby Jesus was born. And I think the one of this story that was the most surprised about the new coming of baby Jesus was the old cow who came to eat his meal that night, and in his manger found a baby boy sleeping, this king. And then to go along with Karina's sermon today, we're going to remember the Magi. And the Magi were people who knew so much about so many things that some people thought that they were magic. That's where we get the word. Now, the three Magi were told to come and follow this star. They saw it in the sky and they said, we just feel like the universe is trying to tell us something. And they didn't know what it meant, but they decided to follow it, to leave everything that they had, their families, their homes, and to follow this star in hopes of finding something really, really special. It was a long journey for these wise men. Our yard nativity scene continues to have the wise men travel until the day that we call Epiphany Sunday. And that's the day that we celebrate the wise men coming and finally making it to baby Jesus. And the interesting part about what they brought to baby Jesus who was born was they didn't bring normal gifts like we talked about of pacifiers or baby toys or blankets, but they brought gifts for a king. They brought gold, money. That's for a king. And they brought frankincense. We have little containers of frankincense. What color is this? It's kind of like a stone, like a hard stone, and it's black. You can't really smell it right now, but frankincense was burned for almost like an incense. It was for kings. And then myrrh. And myrrh was also burned. This is kind of a rock that's almost like a white or off-white color. And myrrh was a little different. It was burned for an incense, so something that smells good, but at funerals for really important people. Which was interesting because baby Jesus was just born. A funeral is where you go when someone dies. I wonder what the Magi knew about this king, that they would bring him gold, frankincense, and myrrh. I wonder if they knew that baby Jesus would eventually be killed on the cross around Easter time. It's interesting. On the first Sunday of Advent, we lit our purple candle. On the second Sunday, we lit another purple candle. Purple is the color of royalty. On the Sunday where we remember the shepherds, we light a pink candle. For the Sunday that we remember the Magi, we light another purple candle. But there's one more story, Christmas. I think we've forgotten something. I'll be right back. The Christ candle. This is the color. What color?
White.
White. Pure white for baby Jesus's birth. Magi candle doesn't want to stay lit. if we can smell anything if we burn the frankincense. Black smoke coming off it. You don't smell anything? You smell that? And then myrrh with a light. At funerals. That smells good. That's interesting, isn't it?
This dropped on me.
And what do we remember? What do we remember about these lights? That's right. That the story is about baby Jesus who was born, and the light was there. But the light is also here today. The light of Jesus is with us wherever we are. Fills our room just like the smoke. And because baby Jesus is born, we will leave the Christ candle lit to illuminate the dark of this season.
And then this one.
We're going to leave it lit because that's the light of baby Jesus. We hope that you stay tuned for our creative response lesson. We are going to make one of our last ornaments. We've had a creative response ornament, Christmas tree extravaganza this Advent season. And we hope that you stay tuned for a fun footprint baby Jesus manger scene ornament.
Bye.
Bye. Hey everybody, we are ready to make our manger footprint for baby Jesus. So the first step that we're going to do, because we like to paint with watercolor, is to do some watercolor on the background of, we have kind of like thicker, you could use watercolor paper. I think that this is just like a cardstock that I had and cut in half for 2 of them. But we're going to do a little bit of watercolor for the background to make it look like a blue sky. So you want to paint with some water first. So get your paper wet, and you want it really wet all over. This is the fun part. You just go all over, all over, all over. And I'll start getting the blues and purples. Kind of when you think of baby Jesus being born in the middle of the night, what colors would you do? And then as you, can I put a little bit of blue on? As you start to put some water on, start adding in your color and allow the water to kind of move that color around a little bit. So see how much water? Then add some purples, blue. If you get a really dark color, it means that you need more water on your paintbrush. And you're just gonna kind of mix in these colors. If there are sparkles or kind of drops, that's okay. Kind of will look like stars. So we're gonna get this all wet, spread that color. And then once you have it the way that you want it in the background, you'll let it dry for the next step, which is the messy part. Sorry, parents. But we are going to put, if you have like washable paint, we'll probably just use acrylic paint and be very, very careful to not get it on anything. And we will paint the bottom of our feet and then step on the paper. So we'll get some brown paint and then we're gonna step on the paper. That's gonna make our footprint.
Yeah, we did. Yesterday was Mana.
Oh, well, we're gonna get messy again. And then we'll do a thumbprint for baby Jesus's body and a fingerprint for baby Jesus's head. And then we'll just draw a manger or a barn kind of shape around it. Paint a star up at the top, so you can even do some background color of the yellows and orange up at the top, and just mix in these colors and have fun.
It's going to be fun to make our paint on our feet.
Mm-hmm. We like to get messy every once in a while. All right, so I hope y'all enjoy doing the backdrop of your paper, and we will be in touch once our paper is dry and we're ready to get messy. All right, everybody, the watercolor backgrounds for our kind of starry night look are all dried and finished. So we have little orange kind of up at the top for the star where that will be defined later. Now is our time for the messy part. We are going to paint a foot. So we have some acrylic paint. We got some brown for the manger. And let's, this one is yours, right? And this one is yours. And we're just gonna get some brown paint on our big paintbrush. And then we're going to paint your whole foot. Does it tickle? So the part that you want to think about is having the curve of your foot up. So that part, it'll cradle baby Jesus in. So we're gonna flip this around and put it down flat and push it down just like you do with a stamp so that it all presses down there, and then pick it back up. And again, you'll see that the, what is that called? The arch of your foot is up at the top, so that's where baby Jesus will be cradled in. Get your thumbprints. And you can use whatever color you want. If you want to use white or like a blue. There was this kind of really pretty green blue color that we had. So we're going to paint the thumb. And then Kyler, your thumb. This is, hold on. So then we're going to decide what direction you want baby Jesus's, this is gonna be baby Jesus's body. So maybe put baby Jesus body right there, press it down and lift it up. So that's baby Jesus kind of wrapped up, like swaddled up. Show me your pointer finger. Okay, pointer finger up. This is gonna be baby Jesus's head. So we're making a pretty light brown color, and we're gonna paint your pointer finger. Let me see your pointer finger. Before we do the stable around it, let's do your other foot with white to make the sheep, and we're just going to paint the toes of your feet white. Go over that a little bit, but that will be the basis of the sheep. Okay, so we have just washed off the first batch of painted foot, painted toes, painted finger, and painted thumb, and now we're going to squeeze in a camel into our nativity scene. So in order to do that, we're going to paint our whole hand brown, and we're going to try to squeeze it in so 4 fingers are down, and in this case it's my left hand, and then the thumb will be the head of the camel, and it will be looking over Jesus. So So everyone raise your left hand. Good job. So the final thing we're going to do on our manger scene is add in the details. So we're gonna probably draw in with black Sharpie the very last, but we're gonna take just a little bit of white for the star. And this one's yours, right? And let's just make kind of a star shape. Ready? Can you do it? We're gonna go straight down. Maybe we can make it even bigger. And then straight across. And then little, 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 little. Okay, so here's Eli's star. Kyler, you want to come do a star? Then we have to add in some hay into the manger. Alright everybody, I have gone through now that our paintings, both Kyler and Eli's paintings are done, and I have just kind of given it some details, kind of given some little decorative things, baby Jesus a face, outline things, and then wrote some, oh come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Kind of just some details to embellish it a little bit. I said that they were ornaments. They're not really ornaments. These kind of turned into paintings since we wanted to include all of the animals. But you could always just do one, cut out just baby Jesus in the stable and make it into an ornament to hang on your Christmas tree. But we'll just put him at the base of our Christmas tree and allow it to just add to our art that we have created. So I hope you enjoy. See you later.